Hey, you guys.
Hi, everyone.
What's up? Welcome back to the Mom Zoo.
Hi, guys. Hi.
We are here today to talk about... Wait, what are we talking about?
Shmoo shmoo.
So stupid.
No, it did. It's great. We're talking about shmoo shmoo.
Today. Yes.
We are here today
Shmoo
to talk
shmoo.
about
YouTube.
Shmoo shmoo.
We're on YouTube talking about YouTube.
I love you guys.
I don't
But
let you
really-
mess up. I'm like, no, we're just going with it.
We're
That's
really
fine.
good. No, I'm totally fine. We do. We want to talk about YouTube today, how we got started, and maybe some tips for you guys getting started if you're just getting into the YouTube world. So let's
man.
start with you, Kayli. How did you get started with YouTube?
how did I get started? Well, I would not have known about YouTube without you guys. When you guys first started, I was like, what are they doing? I honestly told Casey, and I think I've mentioned this before, but I told Casey when you guys started, Shay is so lucky that he married Colette.
She just allows him to do this.
Because it was so weird to me, and I was just like, what are they doing? And I was just like, Colette always supports Shay, and that's so awesome, because if Casey would have been like, I'm going to do YouTube, I would have been like, what are you going to do? It was just such a weird thing. I was super into blogs. I like read blogs all the time, but YouTube just seemed so different because it was like a lot of comedy stuff. Like you were doing a lot of like skits and different things,
Yeah, remember how we skits
which
we
was
would
so
do?
fun to watch. I loved it, but I was just like, they're so great. And I'm so glad that Shay married Colette because you did support him.
Yeah, it was fun.
And so I started watching you guys a lot, and then especially when you moved to California, and I started watching Candy Johnson and Blair and Elle Fowler and a few different beauty vloggers, whatever. And I kind of started to want to do my own thing on there. And then we came out to visit them for Shay's birthday party.
Yeah.
And I remember when I went home, I was so inspired because we were around so many YouTubers that I bought a camera and I was like, I'm going to do this. And I filmed a video and I was like, I am not going to do this. It was so much harder because I wanted to do like tutorials and things that I did, like teaching people about hair and stuff because I was doing that at the salon. But it was just, I just watched myself and I was like, no, I cannot do this. And I didn't. And then you guys moved to California and that just kind of got it all started. I don't know. I feel like so scatterbrained right now.
That's okay.
Wait, how did this start?
I know it kind of is a scatterbrain though. Like, how did we get started? It wasn't ever like an intentional, like, this is going to be great. It was like when we started, it was more of like Shay got into watching YouTube and he was like, this is such a cool place to like go and I can type in whatever I want and I can see it, you know, I can see ski videos or, you know, whatever he was into at the time. And I remember the first time we got a computer and he started watching YouTube, he stayed up all night watching YouTube. And I woke up and I was like, what have you been doing? You know, like all night on the internet. I'm like,
on the computer?
What are you doing on the computer? And he was just like, I'm watching YouTube. This is so cool. And so he got me into watching it. I was like, this is crazy. Like, what is this? And, you know, Shay and I both being like the hams that we were at the time, like I loved acting and he was always the life of the party. And so it just felt like, this would be fun.
Yeah.
Like, let's post a video. And, of course, he posted the first video of me filming him dancing around. And, I mean, I feel like we've told the story 1,000 times, but I don't know if I've always told it from my perspective.
Yeah.
But I just remember thinking he was so happy. Like, he's, like, lighting up, doing this fun thing. And I thought it was so fun that we were doing skits together.
Yeah.
And, like, coming up with the ideas was really crazy. And then I think it caught on the whole community aspect of it. Like, oh my gosh, we're hearing from people in Nebraska. Like he always talks about, so-and-so in Nebraska wants me to make another video. I got to film a video today. And so it was just fun, really. It just started out a fun hobby. And then it became more than that.
That's so fun that you started when it was such a small thing. Because like thinking of Shay staying up all night, he probably watched every single YouTube video ever made because it was like
and
so,
could do that.
so new because it wasn't oversaturated. And then the community being so much closer because it was so tiny.
Yeah. I remember he would watch Phil, and Phil had 60,000 subscribers at the time. And at the time, that was like the most. I think maybe Lisa Nova had more than him, but like they were like the top dogs on YouTube. And now it's like, how many does PewDiePie have?
I know. Yeah. I just remember like growing up with Shay and Casey, they loved making videos together. It was something they both did. And then like I'd always get wrangled in as like the extra, if we're gonna be correct with it, you know.
Yeah.
And they would like come up with these things, and it was just like Shay did what he would light up. And it was known that if my mom got out the camera, you would always hear her in the background, Shay, because he'd be like jumping and dancing in front of the camera, and it's just like something that brought him to life.
Yeah.
So that's like, I think that's so cool that he was able to turn that into his lifestyle and career. It's so funny. I feel like I've been asked this question a million times, and every time my answer is different. And I wish that if I could go back 6 years, I wish I could have myself then watch this video now. Because I feel like for the first time in like answering this question at like on panels and to people that have interviewed us and talked to us at Maker and through the whole process, I feel like I now know why. And I originally wanted to start doing YouTube because like honestly and truthfully, I was like, oh, you can make great money staying at home, being with your kids. Like, it's not that hard, you know? And that was like my mindset. And I was like, and I'll figure it out as I go. Like, I'll just make videos and figure it out as I go. And so I didn't really have like a vision or like a business plan essentially of like what I wanted my channel to look like. And I feel like through this like 4 or 5 year period of building content online, it's really helped me to like understand who I am and what I want to be known on this earth for. And I think if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have been able to come and meet that person.
Right.
And it kind of sounds really vain because it's like I've had to watch myself to like become who I want to be, but it's true. And now I feel like more than ever I have like a purpose in why I do YouTube. And I think the coolest like series that was going around was those series like Why We YouTube, Why We Vlog. And more than anything, like really Jackson and I feel like our family channel is for us. Like we do it for us, and some days it feels like, oh, we got to get a vlog up. But I'm always grateful for those days because we'll like look back and be like, remember when we did this day and we were fighting and we didn't want to vlog, but it brought us together. And look how little Cooper was, and look where we were at our life then. And we were really happy then, and we thought we were stressed out, and we weren't. And so to me, like with YouTube, I think that if you're like wanting to get started, try to get a vision of what you would want to do, and then be flexible through the journey and like be able to take in the good with the bad. And I don't know, just like I was really able to mold myself. Sometimes it was hard. I'm sure I've cried to you guys so many times, like everyone on the internet hates me.
Yeah.
But then you get a lot of good.
They're all rude. No, just kidding.
They do. But then you get a lot of good, and it helps you become, I think, like just, you know, you find your purpose in why you're making these videos at home with your family and why you do the things that you do.
Right.
But it is hard, and it's a really saturated community now. A lot of people do it. There's a lot of vloggers, a lot of beauty gurus, and you may feel like, oh, I don't have a purpose in that. But I think that's the beauty of YouTube, is there's so many avenues and different kind of people that are looking for content that you can reach. And so just be genuine and be yourself. Like, I think I went into it not really being myself. And maybe that's why it was hurtful to read comments when people were like, you know, because I was like, they're probably right in a sense. And I didn't love that. But now more than anything, I'm like, this is who I am. And I'm grateful that YouTube has helped me kind of find that, you know, that passion and that person that I've wanted to be, if that makes sense.
Right.
I think
totally
that's
makes
true.
sense.
I think I was going to say to stay true to who you are and your passions. Like your passions, when I first started, I wanted to teach. That was very important to me. I wanted to do tutorials, whether it was hair or crafts, because I had a passion for that and I loved teaching people. And at first I felt like I wasn't getting views and like no one liked the content that I was making, but I knew that that was the content that made me happy. And so I just stuck with that. And I feel like now my channel is a little bit of this, but those are the things that I feel like that is the base of my channel. And those are the things that are important, and those are the things that I will always try to do.
Yeah.
So I think just staying true to who you are and what you are passionate about, and you'll attract the people who are passionate about those things.
Yeah.
So you can't always just put up videos for views.
Right.
You can't do that for sure.
It's always those videos that you're like not worried about that get the views. And then you're like, oh, I didn't even really try, you know? But I think it's because one thing with YouTube is I do think that it's gotten a little different, but I think in the beginning there was a lot of like clarity. Like you could really see through people's genuineness on their videos. And I think that's what like the big attraction to YouTube was, is how close you could feel to the stranger and the things they were going through. Now it's like gotten into a little bit of a different world. I feel like there's going to be that in anything, opposition in all things, right? But I think that's one thing that, like, that's such a good point. Like, don't try to do something just because you think you're going to get views.
Yeah.
And don't try to do, like, it's so hard, though, because once you get into the game of it and the business of it and you're trying to make a lifestyle, like, those things will come across your mind. Like, are people going to watch this? Like, if I use this thumbnail or this title, like, it will get better views.
Right.
Those are tricks you have to, like, learn to balance. But I think at the end of the day, as long as you can, like, feel good that you haven't totally compromised, like, who you are or what you stand for, then...
And feel, like, confident in what you're putting out is something that you genuinely want to give to the world.
Right. Like, leave... I always just remind myself, like, your grandma watches this. Jackson's grandma watches this. Like, make sure that that's something that you still feel confident in, you know?
And I remember we went to, it was a birthday party for Shay in Bear Lake. And I remember driving home with Casey and saying, like, why haven't we tried vlogging? Because I saw the happiness that it brought your family, and I saw, like, how much time you were able to spend together. And at that time, I was working so much and Casey was working so much. We were almost, like, balancing our schedules of when we would be home to babysit so the other one could work.
Right.
And I just saw you guys spending so much time together, and I wanted that. I was like, why haven't we tried this? And Casey was just like, I can't do it. And then finally Shay talked him into it. And I felt that happiness when we started because we were making an effort to do more as a family, and we were together. And I think, like, don't lose sight of things like that. Like, you know, hold on to the things that make you happy.
Yeah. No amount of views or no amount of internet fame or is ever worth, like, compromising your family or, like, what makes you guys you.
Yeah.
That's something that, like, I'm really grateful. I feel like Jackson and I, like, it hasn't changed us. Like, and it's weird, like, especially, like, me going into it when I started dating Jackson, it's like I had to have that in my mind because I have dated people where it's like I definitely felt like they rode on the coattails of, like, oh, you're on the internet, I'm on the internet, like, this can help me, which is fine because that's, like, another also, like, a business move. But Jackson's always been just so genuinely supportive and, like, has his own thing. And a lot of people have asked, like, are you going to quit and do YouTube? And he's like, no, like, that's my family, my wife's thing, but, like, that's what she loves doing, and I like supporting her in that. But to us, that balance really helps our relationship. Like, I love that he has his own thing. And I think that that's been the greatest thing because we don't sit down at night and try to think of ways to get people to watch our videos. We're like, we're just going to be us. And we don't have the hugest family vlogging channel, and we don't have the most views, but we're doing great, and it makes us happy. And we're in a place right now where it will, like, something that we do want to continue with. But I think that if we were to lose, sleep about it and stress out and try to plan all these ways to get people to watch our videos, then I think it would probably be something that, like, okay, maybe this is something we should reevaluate because I don't know. We try to, like, try hard to, like, edit and, like, get videos up, but I don't know. It's not like we're trying to, like, convince people to like us, you know?
And it shouldn't be your main purpose in doing it.
And it is hard when you know that those views count towards your income.
Yeah.
And so that can be a little challenging at times. And there are times that I get stressed out and I'm like, Casey, we need to, like, do this and we need to do that. And he's like, are you happy with your life? Like, do you have a good life? And I'm like,
leave it to the hunter.
Yes, fine, you're right. I'm not meaning to complain. I just think we could do better and we need to do more. And he's like, we're doing, like, all we can. And so I'm grateful for that he brings that to me, because sometimes I'm like, I need to do this on my channel and I'm not doing good enough and we're not doing good enough and we need to vlog more and blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, everything's okay.
Take a step
It is
back.
so hard to balance that, though.
Okay, it is okay, you're right.
I just want to take good thumbnails and come up with better editing. And I'm like, oh, this is, you could forever, like, spend hours doing that.
Yeah.
But
you start to find your, like, the pressure of it all and to, like, get overwhelmed in that. But you just have to remember, like, why am I doing this? And stick to that purpose. Like, you don't have to be better or worse than anybody else. You are just doing what you need to do. And I think if you are just starting out and you want to start a YouTube channel, do what makes you light up. Like, what you want to show the world, like, do that. Don't do, like, okay, what is going to get me views? I need to be like this person. I want to be like this person. Like, obviously take parts of things that resonate with you. Like, if somebody does something on their channel, you're like, I really like that. I really want to incorporate that. But don't make that your thing if it's not your thing. You know what I mean? So,
like, sticking weird things up your nose. Like, if that's not your thing,
just don't do
that.
And be realistic. Like, there are so many things that I see that are, like, going viral. And I think I would really actually like to do that. Like, tiny cooking. Right? Yes, I love, like, little tedious things. I love doing that. And I was like, I would love to be in a tiny little kitchen and cooking tiny little things. And I'm like, when am I going to do that?
Did you see that tiny little turkey that they did?
I just love everything they do. Like, they cook hamburger in a tiny little pot. And I just...
we can start our own channel.
I think it would be so fun. I
those,
love
like,
tedious
family
little
channels
TV.
when they're wearing spandex suits and the Spider-Man and they get so many views. I'm like, is that something we should be doing? And then I looked down, I'm like, no, definitely not. Okay, I'll wear a spandex suit. You cook me mini hamburgers. Okay, so
Be like, I'm cooking you something really special right now.
Really special.
But I think you do need to be realistic about who you are and your life and what you can do. And
Yeah.
because the most genuine people on content, or the most genuine, I feel like YouTubers, I feel like do the best. Like they're stuck with their craft. You know, and maybe it is a character and that doesn't seem genuine, but like, I love what you said, like, don't watch someone else and be like, well, they get a lot of views, so I'm going to do that and get a lot of views too. Because that's usually when it will go really bad. And I've been guilty of that too. I'm like, well, I could do that too. And then it happens and you're like, oh.
well, and you have to keep it up. Like,
Yeah.
are you going to be able to keep something up that you are actually not happy doing?
I love it.
Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Let us know if you are starting a channel, what your passions are and what you want to do. And as always, like, favorite, comment, subscribe. We love getting your comments. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.